Hello students, so welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to study the nitrogen cycle. It is a topic of your mineral nutrition. It is a plant physiology unit. Now see, first of all, nitrogen, if you see, it is a chief component of, there's a chief component of amino acid, component of protein, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, okay, as well as for chlorophyll and for nucleic acids. So it is a component of these things. Now, if you see, atmosphere contains 78 percentage of nitrogen by volume. It contains 78 percentage of nitrogen, but plant cannot use this nitrogen. Plant cannot use this nitrogen, okay? Till the time it is not fixed. It should be fixed in which form? Either ammonium ions or nitrate. Then only the plant can use it. Now, because of this, it is very less it is available for the plants. They can absorb only in the form of ammonium ions or nitrate. So the plants are competing with microbes for the limited nitrogen which is available in the soil. And thus we say nitrogen is a limiting nutrient. Please focus the question. Nitrogen is a limiting nutrient for both agricultural and natural ecosystem. When we study the nitrogen cycle, for our conveniency, we are dividing it into these steps. So nitrogen cycle we'll be discussing now in this video under the following steps. First, we'll be studying about the nitrogen fixation, then ammonification, nitrification, nitrate assimilation, and denitrification. So these are the steps in which we'll be covering the entire nitrogen cycle. See, these are the list of a nitrogen fixing organism. Please focus, nitrogen fixing organisms are also known as diazotroph. They are known as diazotroph. They can be of two categories. Either cyanobacteria can do this work, we call it as blue-green algae cyanobacteria, or bacteria will do the work. Now when they are doing the work, either they can be free living, okay, or they can be in the symbiotic. So list is made just for your conveniency. So in the free living, if you see, your free living nostoc is there, Anabina is there, Alucera is also there, Oscillatoria, and Slendrospermum. These are the few examples of cyanobacteria which are free living. Now for symbiotic, one example is nostoc, making association with the thallus of Anthoceros. Anthoceros, if you remember, we have already studied in bryophyte. Then is Anabena. Anabena is found with the corollard roots of Cycas. Cycas means gymnosperm. As well as it's found in the leaf of Azolla. Azolla means fern, which is a member of pteridophyte. So these are the few examples of cyanobacteria which are making symbiotic association. Clear? Now let us focus on the bacteria. Now if we see bacteria, they can be also free living as well as they can be symbiotic also. Now, if we see the free living, we find Azotobacter and Bergernicki. These are the two examples which are free living, but they are aerobic. Clear? Third example is Rhodospirillum. Rhodospirillum is the one which is anaerobic. Now come to the symbiotic. The common example, you know, Rhizobium. Rhizobium will make association with the root nodule of legume plant. Okay, rhizobium will make association with the root nodule of legume plant. Another is Frankia. Frankia, which is a member of Actinomycetes. Please focus, Frankia is a member of Actinomycetes. Okay, and it is making association with the root nodules of non-leguminous plant. An example of that non-leguminous plant is your Elnas. Another example you can write is Casuarina. So these are the two examples of non-legume plant. So this is the entire list for you to learn what are the diazotrophs, means what are the microbes, how do they fix. Now let us start with the first topic, that is nitrogen fixation. Okay, beta. So we are starting with the first topic, that is nitrogen fixation. Because we have already studied that we'll be going to study this cycle with the 5 headings. The first heading is nitrogen fixation. Now see, nitrogen fixation, if you see, it can be electrical nitrogen fixation. Okay, it can be industrial nitrogen fixation, or it can be biological nitrogen fixation. In case of electrical nitrogen fixation, due to lightning and UV radiation, please focus, due to lightning and UV radiation, nitrogen is converted into nitrogen oxides like NO, NO2, and N2O. Is it clear? Due to lightning and UV radiation, nitrogen is converted into nitrogen oxide, and these oxides will come down with by dissolving in the rainwater. And when these oxides mix with the rainwater, they form nitrous or nitric acid. Okay, and when they reach to the ground, there they react with alkyl radical of the soil to form nitrate. There they will react with the alkyl radical to form nitrate. I think so this much is clear. Now see next, industrial nitrogen fixation. In industrial nitrogen fixation, either industrial combustion or due to forest fire or due to automobile exhaust or power generating stations. These can be various reasons for which again they are the source for the nitrogen oxides. Okay, so these are can be various reasons to make the nitrogen oxides, and these nitrogen oxides will be again changed into nitrous or nitric acid to form again nitrate or ammonium ions. And third category is your biological nitrogen fixation, which we'll be going to study in detail. Your NCERT diagram. See, biological nitrogen fixation, one method. One is your electrical nitrogen fixation, we discussed. Electrical nitrogen fixation is making nitrate, it will make nitrate. First, it will make nitric oxides and then combined with the rainwater to form nitric acid. Coming down to the soil, combines with alkyl radical to form nitrate. Please focus the arrow carefully. And if you see carefully, one method is your industrial nitrogen fixation. The industrial nitrogen fixation, in which we have covered the power generating stations, automobile exhaust, industrial combustion, and forest fire also. Okay, the forest fire should not be used here, but just for your learning, I'm just adding it here. Try to understand. So they all are making ammonium ions. Okay, ammonium ions they are making. And in the NCERT, if you see the theory, they are saying that all these are also source for nitrogen oxides also. Okay, all these are also source for nitrogen oxides. In theory, it is nitrogen oxide source, and in diagram they are telling it is ammonium ion, so they can make both the things. Now biological nitrogen fixation, this is the one we have to study in detail. Now we'll start with this process, then we'll come back again to this cycle. The conveniency, I'll be writing all the theory in the steps form so that it will be easy for you to note it down and learn it properly. Now symbiotic nitrogen fixation, we are taking an association of rhizobium with the legume plant. So first of all, try to understand one point. Rhizobium is gram negative. It is gram negative, okay, and it is aerobic. In free living, it is aerobic. I'm mentioning it, free living. Okay, in free living, it is aerobic, and it is rod shaped bacteria. Rod shape means bacillus shape. Now, legume plants, root will secrete one chemical. The root of the legume plant, they secrete chemical, and that chemical can be your flavonoids, you can say, sugar also, amino acids. These are the chemicals which are released by the root hairs. Is it clear? Now, Bacteria will identify this with the help of its ricardicin protein. The ricardicin protein is present in the bacteria and bacteria is identifying through this ricardicin protein. The bacteria identifies this chemical. I'm just writing this chemical. I hope you have understood previous one what we have written. With the help of ricardicin protein. So it means ricardicin protein who is having bacteria. Ricardicin protein. And this protein is present in bacteria. The bacteria is having this protein. After this identification, bacteria will show the chemotactic movement. Bacteria will move towards the root here and bacteria shows chemotactic movement. Chemotactic movement. Clear beta? Up till your theory is clear? Now, next point. Now basically see one thing. Now the bacteria will secrete one chemical. Now bacteria will secrete nod factor. I'm writing the nod with the short. Please try to understand. Nod factor. Now plants identify with the help of lectin protein. With the help of lectin protein. So this lectin protein is present in plants. Okay. And now the plants will shows the action of the curl is made. Means curling of the root hair occur. Shows the curling of root hair. So we can summarize whatever up till here in the diagram. Try to understand. This is the root hair. Okay. And let us assume this is a soil particle. And these are the bacteria. I'm using blue color for the bacteria. So these are the bacteria which are present. So now see what the plant cell is releasing. Plant cell is releasing flavonoid, sugar, amino acid. Clear beta? Now, after this what will happen? They have released this chemical. Then now bacteria will identify this. So I'm just doing one thing. I'll just make one bacteria long. You can understand. Remaining I'll just put as a dot only. So on the surface of bacteria, this ricardicin protein is there. Which protein? Ricardicin protein on the surface of bacteria. And then bacteria will show which movement? They will show chemotactic movement. So I hope you are understanding the sequence. Okay. So now bacteria will show chemotactic movement. I'm drawing the diagram down. So bacteria will get clustered near the root here. This is soil. And bacteria have clustered near the root here. They have reached to the root here. This is the way they have clustered. Now bacteria is secreting which chemical? Bacteria is now producing nod factor. It produces nod factor. I hope you now it is easy for you to understand my arrows carefully. That bacteria is releasing nod factor. Now this nod factor is identified by the root here with the help of lectin protein. Check the diagram. Okay, I'm just using again this thing. This is a protein present on the root here. I'm just doing the one labeling. This protein is known as lectin protein. Okay, so This is the bacteria. They have released their already chemicals. And now plant has identified with the lectin. So what is the effect? I'm just drawing it here. Try to understand. The sign given by the root here will be curling. Root hair curl. This is the sign given by the root hair. Is it clear, beta? So I hope up till here your diagram is clear to you. And through this theory is also now clear. So first of all, first step in the nodule formation is the curling of the root hair. Curling, these bacteria will produce infection thread. The infection thread is produced, which will carry the dividing bacteria. So infection thread carries dividing bacteria. And the bacteria are able to reach to the inner cortical and pericycle, up to inner cortical layer. Okay, now inner cortical and pericycle, inner cortical cells and pericycle, they are stimulated to divide. If they are dividing means mitosis, pericycle divide. It means they are going for de-differentiation. So they are dividing because of auxin, which is produced by the plant. Auxin is produced by the plant and cytokinin, which is produced by the bacteria. So because of this, what will happen? The inner cortical cells of the and inner corticals and pericycle cell will divide. Now, nodule formation is done. So nodule formation is done. Up till here, you are understanding the diagram? Now see carefully. If you see, this is the soil particle. Check the diagram carefully. Okay. See here, these are the soil particles and this is root here. Okay. And these are the bacteria which have reached. So first of all, hook formation is done. Hook formation is done means curling of the root here. And now see, inner cortical and pericycle cells are dividing. Okay, why they are dividing? Because infection thread has already taken the dividing bacteria reaching there. So infection thread carries the dividing bacteria. And when they reach to the inner cortical cells, then the inner corticals and the pericycle cell will undergo division to form a mature nodule. Is it clear, beta? So mature nodule formation is done when the infection thread carrying the dividing bacteria reach to the inner cortical and pericycle. Now, so nodule, what is made? So these nodule will establish direct vascular connection with the host. So nodule establish direct vascular connection with the host. And now these bacteria will stop dividing. Okay. Now these bacteria will stop dividing and they will be now doing the nitrogen fixation. Now for nitrogen fixation, they are having an enzyme nitrogenase. So nitrogenase is a very important enzyme responsible for nitrogen fixation. But enzyme this nitrogenase, it is sensitive to oxygen. Okay, so this is sensitive to oxygen and it is made by the NIF gene of the bacteria. Made by NIF gene of bacteria. Please focus carefully. The bacteria NIF gene is responsible for making the nitrogenase enzyme. Okay, and this gene is present in plasmid. This gene is present in plasmid. Now, when we see this nitrogenase, we find it is having two components. So let me explain you the diagram also. See, this is the structure of the enzyme nitrogenase. Check carefully. This is a nitrogenase enzyme complex, which is having two subunits. One is made up of iron protein. Another is made up of molybdenum iron protein. Clear, beta? So it is having two subunit. Please focus carefully. One is your iron protein. Another is your molybdenum iron protein. Now, if you see this iron protein itself is having two subunit. If you see this is one, I'm just highlighting it carefully. You please check it. This is one subunit and this is another subunit. So I will say iron protein is dimer. I'm just writing it. It is dimer made up of two subunit. But if you see carefully the side one diagram, okay, just check the side one. Molybdenum iron, check this is your one subunit, okay. Then this is a second subunit. And again, two more are there, 3 and 4. So molybdenum iron is tetramer. This is tetramer made up of 4 subunit. Up till here, your concept is getting clear. I'm just rubbing it now because I have to explain another thing. Now see carefully in the first component which is having iron protein. So see carefully, this is ferredoxin which is reduced, is getting itself oxidized by giving its electron to oxidized iron. Okay, iron which is oxidized, it is giving it to it so that it can get reduced. And when this reduced, if you see carefully, it is again getting oxidized. That time it is using ATP. ATP is used here. So ATP is used by the first component of the nitrogenase. Now iron is given from the, when iron is getting itself oxidized, it is giving to molybdenum iron, second component. The second component, again, this is oxidation reduction is going on. And what they are doing it, they are giving their hydrogen. Okay. They are giving the hydrogen along with the electron to, check carefully, nitrogen. See the diagram carefully. You're finding here nitrogen is present. They are giving to nitrogen with 8 protons, it is removed. Okay. 8 protons also to form 2 ammonium ions. So 8 electrons are entering, 8 electrons will enter, and 8 protons are used here and combined with the nitrogen to form 2 molecules of ammonium ions by using 16 ATP. This is the way how nitrogen fixation is done with the help of an enzyme that is known as nitrogenase. So I hope this diagram is clear to you. Now stand through diagram. See, this is the enzyme nitrogenase. Check carefully. This is the enzyme nitrogenase. Okay. And this nitrogenase, if you see, first of all, to this nitrogenase, your substrate nitrogen gas is binding. Okay. Binding of the nitrogen is going on. So it is binding to the enzyme. After that, it is reduction is going on. Every time you are adding 2 hydrogen atom. Check carefully. And finally, the enzyme is released. We are saying free nitrogenase. And product is also released. The product is 2 ammonia molecules which are released. So at the end, we can write the equation, okay, which is of NCERT only. We can say nitrogen will combine with 8 electrons, 8 protons with 16 ATP to form 2 molecules of ammonia plus hydrogen. Is it clear? And obviously ADP plus inorganic phosphate is also released. ADP plus 16 inorganic phosphate is released. So your nitrogen fixation is done with the help of an enzyme nitrogenase. Is it clear? And I told you that this enzyme is sensitive to oxygen. So for that, another pigment will come and save it. So enzyme nitrogenase, which is sensitive to oxygen, it is protected by leg hemoglobin. Protected by leg hemoglobin. So first of all, try to understand leg word is why associated because of seen in the legume plant. Okay. And this is the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. In which heme part is made by bacteria. Heme part is made by bacteria and globin part is by plant, by the host. So like hemoglobin is the one which is working as oxygen scavenger. So we say leg hemoglobin is actually oxygen scavenger. It kills oxygen and creates anaerobic conditions so that enzyme nitrogenase can work efficiently. Now, right now I've shown you that it is nitrogen fixation was using 16 ATP. So can I say that this step, nitrogen fixation, is an energy consuming process? The nitrogen fixation is an active process. Is an active process. Now, nitrogen fixation, we will say actually genes are playing the role. So, which genes are playing the role? Try to understand. Let me make the heading. Plant. Plant gene is NOD gene, and bacteria gene is NOD gene, NIF gene, and third is fixed gene. So this NOD gene, first of the plant, try to understand this plant NOD gene is actually making lectin, which is helping in identifying the bacteria NOD protein. Okay, this was the NOD factor which was released by the bacteria. If you remember in the previous, we have discussed it also. NIF is the one which is responsible for making the enzyme nitrogenase. So these are the three genes which are used by the bacteria, but plant only one gene is used. So in the end, we will say that nitrogen is reduced to form ammonia. So in the short, we can say the enzyme we want, what are the things, components, what we want for the nitrogen fixation? We want us the nitrogen is fixed to form ammonia, then what is the fate of ammonia? So see carefully at physiological pH, ammonia is highly toxic. Okay, that physiological pH, what they will do, ammonia is immediately protonated to form ammonium ions. The ammonia which is formed, it is immediately protonated to form ammonium ions. Okay, because ammonia is highly toxic. And now they will make use of this to form amino acid. The first method, what they are doing is they are doing reductive amination. Reductive amination. In which what they are doing it, they are taking alpha ketoglutarate acid, which is a, you have already studied in the Krebs cycle. The alpha ketoglutarate acid will be produced as an intermediate in the Krebs cycle. The alpha ketoglutarate acid will combine with ammonium ions along with NADPH to form glutamic acid. So this is the first amino acid which is made by the plants under the with the help of an enzyme that is known as glutamate dehydrogenase. The enzyme name is glutamate dehydrogenase. So glutamic acid is formed plus water is also released. Okay, and plus NADP is also regenerated back. Now, after doing reductive amination, they will do second step is now they will make another types of amino acid because first amino acid glutamic acid is made. Now they have to make another amino acid. So for that they are doing transamination. Transamination. Now see the process in which transfer of amine group. Amine group will be transferred. Okay, amine group of what? Amine group of amino acid. The transfer of amine group of amino acid to keto group of keto acid. So here I think so we are only transferring the amine group. We are transferring the amine group and obviously we will take the amine group from amino acid and we will give it to keto group of keto acid to form another amino acid. To form another amino acid. Because we are transferring the amine group, so enzyme which is used here is transaminase. We are using the enzyme that is known as transaminase. Let me explain you. See, try to understand. This is one amino acid, okay, beta? Now you are doing one thing, you are taking one keto acid. So you have to transfer the amine group from here. So when you're transferring this amine group, you have to transfer this amine group to this side. You have to transfer here. Is it clear? Then what will happen? Check carefully. Equation only you have to check. Emphasize the diagram carefully. From amino acid, this is R1, still R1. Clear? Because it has become now to another keto acids. And see, next one. So amine group is given here. As a result, if you focus this one only, this one, it has changed to this amino acid. How we have to identify? Just focus on the R2 now. It is having R2. This is also having R2. To make new amino acid, by which we have prepared, actually you can say we have prepared the aspartic acid also. So I hope up till here your concept is clear. Now see, next is amides. From glutamic acid is your amino acid. Okay, this is your amino acid. We can change into glutamine, and glutamine is your amide. Same aspartic acid. Aspartic acid is also amino acid, and it can change into asparagine, which is again your amide. So what we are doing is try to understand. This is your amino acid. Okay, this is amino acid. To focus my board carefully, you will replace the hydroxyl part. This hydroxyl part is replaced by another NH2. So this hydroxyl part is replaced by another NH2. So your final result will be, if you see the change carefully, you will find it is having, check carefully, this one, it is coming here. You just focus this part carefully. Focus this part. Hydroxyl part is replaced with the NH2 group. So this is the way how amide formation is going on. And amides are having more nitrogen to carbon ratio. So they have nitrogen to carbon ratio is very high. Okay, so they are transported by xylem. So transportation is done by xylem. So I hope up till here your topic is clear to you. The first nitrogen fixation we started with the electrical, industrial and biological nitrogen fixation. Now the plants have taken it. Now we have to study. Now to study the other process like ammonification, nitrification, denitrification, I will make one cycle so that it will be easy for you to understand. See, this is atmospheric nitrogen, which is converted into ammonia by the nitrogen fixation, which can be by three different methods we have already discussed. Okay. Now this nitrogen ammonia which is made, it will be changed into nitrite. First into nitrite with the help of bacteria, that is Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus. Then this nitrite is changed into nitrate. This nitrite is changed into nitrate with the help of another bacteria, that is Nitrobacter or Nitrocystis. So this process, which is going from ammonia to nitrate formation, this process is known as nitrification. So this process is known as nitrification. Is it clear? So conversion of ammonia to nitrate means ammonia is getting oxidized to nitrate, then this process is known as nitrification. Now nitrate will be taken by the plant. So we will say this process is known as nitrate uptake. This process is known as nitrate uptake. And in the plants inside the leaf, then it will be assimilated, which I'll be discussing separately. Okay. Now these plants will be eaten by the animals. And when they die, the dead remains of plants and animals is known as detritus. So detritus is the dead remains of plants and animals. And detritus can be converted back into ammonia. So detritus is rich in organic nitrogen. This organic nitrogen is converted back into ammonia by the process that is known as ammonification. So this process is known as ammonification. And ammonification is done with the help of bacteria like Bacillus ramosus. I'm writing in short here. Bacillus ramosus, Bacillus vulgaris. And if suppose nitrate is not taken by the plant, then this nitrate will change back into atmospheric nitrogen. This nitrate will change back into atmospheric nitrogen. Clear, beta? Then this process is known as denitrification. And for denitrification, bacteria which are required, I'm writing it here. Pseudomonas denitrificans. Pseudomonas denitrificans and Thiobacillus denitrificans. So basically you have to remember the examples carefully. Okay, beta, you have to remember the examples carefully. Please try to learn it. Key steps, nitrogen fixation we have already covered. Now nitrification I explained you through this diagram. Nitrification is a process by which ammonia is changing into nitrite but not directly in the step process. Then ammonification is a process by which organic nitrogen is changed into the ammonia because detritus is dead remains. And denitrification is a process by which nitrate is changed back into atmospheric nitrogen. So I hope in this one diagram, all the points which we were left out is discussed with you. Now I have to just discuss one point. After uptake, how the plants will assimilate it. Carefully, after the uptake of nitrate, means this nitrate which was in the soil, it is taken by the plant. So in the plant, it has gone to the leaf. In the leaf area, it has reached. Okay. Now inside the leaf, what will happen? Now see carefully. This first of all, this nitrate inside the leaf, I'm writing it here. This nitrate will change into again nitrite. Will change again into nitrite with the help of an enzyme that is known as nitrate reductase. Nitrate reductase. Okay. And then this nitrite will change back into ammonia. Okay, it will change back into ammonia by liberating water plus OH also. And for here you want the help of an enzyme that is known as nitrite reductase. Nitrite reductase. So once they have made this ammonia, then immediately what they will do, they will add protons to form it ammonium ions. Again, the same process will start. They will give this ammonium ions to alpha ketoglutarate acid. along with the presence of NADPH, okay, by using NADPH to form glutamic acid. And once they make glutamic acid, then transamination process will start. So I hope this video session will help you to learn the nitrogen cycle very easily. Thanks for watching.